Hey, what's going on, buddy?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Good, good. Thanks for joining, Will.
Yeah, man. Happy to be here. Thanks for the
Yeah.
invite.
Oh man, you got it. I appreciate you joining here. So, I'm not sure if we've met at past Miami Maids. Probably. Yeah.
Probably not. I
Okay.
guess I haven't been
All right.
to any of them.
Okay.
But I know Barry very well, and
Good
Awesome.
morning.
I was morning, and I was talking with him when Miami Made was first starting to get together. So just been curious about, and I wanted to pop in and see what it's all about.
Awesome, man. Well, appreciate it. Gonna just give me one sec, guys.
Of course.
Hi guys, welcome. We're gonna get kick started here in about 5 minutes. Hi, Mio. Thanks for joining. Awesome. We're gonna get started in about 5 to 6 minutes. Just gonna wait for some people to jump on here, and then we'll rock and roll. Hey, Ebiz.
Hi. Good
Hi.
morning.
Thanks for joining.
Thank you.
You're in your space right now.
I wish now just the background, but that's how it's supposed to look like.
Good. There you go. Very nice.
Thanks.
Hey, Michelle. Great to see you on here. You're on mute.
Hello, everyone. I see Kara and Mio.
Yes.
So awesome.
Hi, Michelle.
Woohoo!
Hey,
Hi,
Evan.
beautiful. Miss you.
Awesome. We're gonna get started in about 3-4 minutes, guys. Just gonna wait for some people to jump on here, and we'll get rocking and rolling.
Yay.
Excited for your little connection ceremony, Michelle. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. I wanted to tell people that we're going to lay down for the connection. So we're going to connect to Mother Earth and to ourselves and all of us together. So that's what I'm inviting people. But Mio, you don't have to lay down in your car.
I hope I'll be home by then. So
Yeah. That's what came up this morning. I was woken up at 6:30 a.m. and I did my 1 hour meditation. I did this abundance mindset meditation. and I was massaging myself and I was thinking about the group, and that's what came in is let's get us grounded on the floor.
All right. Hey, Guy. Thanks for joining, buddy.
Hey, how are you guys? Good?
Great, great. Thank you so much for joining. Guy is our
Sure.
guest speaker today.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Are you in Puerto Rico, Guy?
Yeah, how do you know?
Ooh,
Oh, yeah,
'cause you
remember I
me.
told you. Oh, yeah, the place just showed up. Yeah, yeah, I moved. It's amazing.
Looks beautiful.
Yeah, it's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've never been. I've got to make a trip out there.
You should, man. You should. You're welcome anytime.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, gang, we're going to get started in about 1 to 2 minutes here. Just wait for any more last minute stragglers and we'll get rocking.
Oh, I know a few faces. That's cool.
Awesome.
Can you guys hear me well, by the way?
Yes.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. Great.
You got your little companion there too, Guy.
Yeah, I guess he wants to tell his story as well. It's great. People are showing up. You know, is Barry and Brendan here? Are they here?
Brandon can't make it. It's
Uh-huh.
Jeanette's birthday today, so he's out of
Oh,
town.
of course.
So
That makes sense.
I don't know about Barry. I'm not sure if he's going to jump on today. He has the
Okay.
last couple of Miami Maids.
Nice. Yeah, it's great you guys keep doing it, you know, even during COVID. It's amazing.
Yeah, we started back up in May. It's been good.
Yeah,
Keep
great
the
work.
momentum
Great
going.
work. Yeah.
What's up, Aisha? Can you hear me over there? How you doing?
Hello, Joe. I'm doing well. Nice to
Good.
see you. You look happy. I'm trying to get the video on and I can't. I don't know why. It's like it's not
Yeah, no
working right
worries.
now.
Sometimes for whatever reason, like with my webcam, I gotta restart my computer and then it starts working. But either way, we have a beautiful picture of you and we can hear you.
Yeah, hello everyone. I will try to fix it and you will see me as well.
No worries. All right, gang, we are at 10:06, so let's get this rocking and rolling here. I want to be mindful of everyone's time, so we will end this call today at 11 a.m. However, I will stay on for as long as you guys want to stay on. If you want to network and talk one-on-one, chat in the chat box, and just have conversations. So feel free to stay on longer. I'll be on till whenever we need to stay on. So 11:30, whatever is the case, you know, we'll stay on today. And we have an awesome lineup and an awesome agenda today. It's going to be awesome. We have Michelle Alva. She's going to be hosting our connection in just a few moments here. We have Guy Lelouch, who is a entrepreneur. He runs multiple businesses, and we'll get into his story in a little bit as well. And he'll be sharing some of his experiences, and we'll do a little bit of Q&A with him as well. So I kind of want to mix in his Q&A with the session that I run, which is the Hot Seat Mastermind. So if you have any questions about your business right now and anything that you're challenged with or you're struggling with, you know, feel free to just jot those things down right now so you have some questions ready for Guy or for the group, right? We want to make this as interactive as possible. So my name is Joe Metcalf. For those of you that don't know me, I've been a Miami Made member for the last 2 years. I'm the founder of Miami Beach Masterminds, a small group in Miami Beach that runs small networking and mindfulness and mindset events in Miami Beach. And you know, we'll just we'll just go ahead and jump into it as well. We'll also do our give and gets, and we'll also do our celebration of wins as well. So it'll be a great action-packed hour. And without any further ado, let's have Michelle take it over. And before she starts, I just want to say that I have such a great connection with Michelle. She's actually been to some of my masterminds before in Miami Beach, and she's led incredible connection and meditation ceremonies with sound healing and with really going in and looking within yourself. She's just such an expert on meditation, on hypnosis, on tantra. She's just a joy and a ray of light to be around. So Michelle Alva, take it from here.
Thank you so much for having me, Joe. And I'm so grateful to see all these beautiful faces of all you amazing souls, and what an exciting time. So what I would invite us all to do is to lay on the floor. And if you're close to your bed, awesome. If you have a yoga mat, I wanted to share with you this posture where I'm going to be guiding us to open up our bodies and just remember that we are abundant, amazing, miraculous, and magical beings that are mostly made of energy. And so I invite you to bring the soles of your feet together and your knees wide apart, and lay down and open up your arms so that you feel as if you're a 5-pointed star. And you can even go beyond the beyond, all the way back. Everybody could see me here. This is a posture in yoga called Baddha Konasana, reclined bound angle posture. So you're welcome to reach your arms up over your head and just say, I'm awesome! I'm powerful!
I'm awesome!
Awesome.
Amazing! And if you sit a lot in a chair, you can open up your legs and spread your legs wide and just keep your body like that. So I'm going to come back and sit up because I'm doing the sound healing. It's hard to do it like that, but that's the position that I'd love for you guys to stay in. And as you're laying that way, just take a moment to lean back right now and lean back on Mother Earth. Feeling, even if you might be on the 10th floor or the 50th floor, and if everybody can mute themselves to this, that would be so awesome. Thank you. And so as you're laying there leaning back, a lot of us have been going through stressful times, and just there's so much unexpected or surprising things. Our ability to be free right now, like going to the beach, you know, things that we take for granted, is being shifted around. And so we can be like the oak tree. We can be rooted and grounded, remembering that it's our nature to be abundant. It is our nature to be totally freaking awesome. And that our nature is love, is to be love. And so can we love what's happening? Can we love and accept even more? And so I invite you right now to reach your arms and spread your arms even more widely, and invite, maybe, okay, Michelle, maybe, I'm really excited, you're so excited. But what if everything's happening to us on purpose? What can I learn from the challenges that are happening now? How can I grow from them, just like all the trees grow in nature? And as you lean back even more and go deeper, surrender more, feel so grateful for Mother Earth that is always supporting us. Our creator, source, our divine God, creator, source, however you want to call it, is always got our back, no matter what. I believe that everything is happening to strengthen us, to make us even more resilient and grateful at the simple things of life. And so I invite you to take a long exhalation and empty out right now. Emptying out fears, emptying out resistance to peace. Emptying out judgment, analysis, criticism. Emptying out beliefs that weigh us down. And now we're gonna inhale, inhale, inhale richly, all that oxygen, and feed it to our hearts and our lungs and every cell in our body. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Hold it. Hold it, hold it. Expanded breathing. And then exhale, let it all go. Open your mouth. Ah. So we're gonna inhale, inhale, inhale through the nose. Expand, expand, expand. Elongate your body even more. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Sneak in 2 or 3 more. Sniff, sniff, sniff. Hold your breath, hold your breath. That's right, hold it. Feel yourself expanded. Open to new possibilities, unexpected opportunities. unexpected increases in income flow unexpectedly? What if I could just be more open? Open to the unknown, trusting in the unknown. Feeling your body expanding even more, even your 10 fingers are spread it even more. Open your legs even more. Go beyond your comfort zone. As I play this Native American flute, it's for the heart. And just keep saying in your mind, I am safe, I am supported. Remember, we are so loved. Inhale, inhale, inhale even more. You're a 5-pointed star, feeling yourself expansive. I am love, I am light, I am here. Feeling yourself completely embodied and so grateful for your energetic body. Remembering that how you feel is how you attract. I'm more than enough. I am love. I decide that I am whole and complete. And whatever else you wish to decide right now. And allowing ourselves to feel that we are all here on purpose in this beautiful, powerful hour. May we open up vulnerably. May we ask those questions that are challenging in our business right now. Ask vulnerably. Thank you so much, Joe and Guy, for being here. And may we continue to expand together. And remember that we are so powerful. And so I'm so excited to receive the gifts of all of you and see what awesomeness we can co-create together now. So you can start to shake your body, because this is what we are, vibrating molecules, and just start to shake. Woo! Feeling your aliveness. Refreshed, renewed, revitalized. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Michelle, that was awesome. Thank you so much.
Hey, Michelle.
My pleasure.
It was great getting out of my comfort zone because I resisted to lay down for a minute on this call, and then I did it and just got into the entire meditation. It was beautiful. I think
Thank you, Michelle. Thank you.
cultivating stillness is such a huge part of my life, and it just changes everything. It gives you so much more clarity and beautiful instruments, the sound and the flute. It was really a great way to start this Miami Made event. So thank you so much. So let's keep it rolling here now that we're feeling great and relaxed and grounded and balanced. This is our celebration of win standpoint. So I want to open up the floor here, and I'm not sure, is Alex here? I saw Alex jump on before. Is he still on? I don't see if I think he's off now, but okay. So let's get into some celebration of wins. Who wants to share something that's happened to them over the last, 20, 30 days that's been a big win, or over the course of this shutdown? Is there any shares that people want to bring up? Michelle?
I want to share.
Go ahead.
So I committed as of March, I think it was like March 28th. I didn't have to take my daughter to school. I have a 15-year-old daughter, and I would have to wake up really early and you know, like meditation for me, I was squeezing it in. And so when I found out I didn't have to take her to school anymore, this little voice inside was like, we're going to meditate for an hour and there's no excuse. And we're going to incorporate pleasure practice because I'm all about that. And so I use doTERRA essential oils, and I've been massaging myself every day and doing my meditation for an hour. And in that one of those days, I created the Wild Women of Abundance 10-day online journey, and it's become a movement. And so like I want to get t-shirts and bracelets and this whole thing that was born from my 1 hour meditation time. And that's one of the commitments that they have to make, is do an hour meditation in the morning. And so I'm really grateful that I have turned the shit into fertilizer of all this COVID time and pandemic. I feel I'm thriving and I'm inspiring. And tomorrow's my birthday and I'm going to be 47. And I feel as though I'm 28, maybe 30 at the most. So those all are celebrations. And I'm really grateful to be here.
Wow. Awesome. Let's give her some snaps, some love. Happy birthday, Michelle. Amazing.
Thank you.
So cool. So cool. Great win. Great shares. I also saw that Alyssa, she raised her hand. Alyssa, do you want to share?
Hi there. Good morning. This is Alisa. Excuse me, Alisa Christine. And thank you for the beautiful meditation ending I caught. So I apologize for hitting online a little bit late, but yeah, so my wins, I'm very happy to share that I've been doing virtual reality art and painting, and I entered 2 virtual reality live painting competitions, which are very new and they're global, and I won both of them. So I'm very happy to share that. And I think it's very cool that you have this celebrating wins section. And, you know, in this pioneering art, I'm doing it with art and wellness. So I'm doing virtual reality meditations. And I was doing the meditations in person, one-on-one. And the quarantine led to me doing them online. So there's a bunch of virtual reality live stream meditations you can find. I go by Lover Worldwide mostly, or Alisa Christine on Facebook. So I'd like to offer those as a share to anyone who's interested in seeing some of the VR meditations. There's a whole series from the root chakra to the crown. So yeah, thank you very much for the opportunity to share.
Alisa, that is incredible. And Julian's asking if you can actually show us some of your art. He would love to see that. And I know Julian's been pioneering his own art too the last few months. So be awesome to see that if you can get your screen up at any point.
Oh, sure. Let me see how I can do that. I guess I'll just, yeah, you'll see it once I have it up, right? So,
Yeah. You can just show it up, or you can do it after the call too if you'd like, whenever. But we'll have someone else share too in the meantime. We'll do a couple more shares. Julian, go ahead, bud.
I want to celebrate. Last night, I got to my current location, and I'm spending a month here in New Mexico.
Wow.
So speaking of cultivating stillness and art, I'll just be here cultivating stillness and art for a month. So pumped for that.
Awesome stuff, man. That's wild. I love it. Santa Fe, New Mexico, huh?
Yeah.
So cool. Anyone else? Big share?
Are we sharing wins?
Yeah, sharing wins.
Hi, I'm Mio, and hola, Guzman. And I recently launched a month or so ago. Gracias.
Yeah,
Ciao. I recently launched my self-love program, and it's starting next week. And I was like totally like feeling like I couldn't do it for some reason or other, and I just had like an epiphany, like an aha moment, where it was like, you're being called forth to bring this work, and this work is needed, and you're needed. And so I heard the call, I heard the message, and I just like got myself out of my own way and like overcame my fears, stepped into my courage, and now I have 5 women registered, and I'm probably registering like 3 or 4 more this week. And it starts next week, and it's all about 8 weeks of deep self-love, healing the inner child, healing body shame. I mean, I'm just so excited that I get to deliver this work, and yeah, I just wanted to share that. So thank you.
Wow, super cool. Super cool, Mio. That's incredible stuff. And congratulations on your journey. That's so exciting and already executing. So that's awesome. Ebiz, I saw you raised your hand. Go ahead.
Yeah. So as a program director of a new boutique co-working space, we're really excited to be putting the wheels in motion and opening soon. So, again, in the middle of this pandemic, there's still a lot of entrepreneurial like energy in the air, and people, definitely need a space to like work it out, and see their visions come to life. And I guess for myself on the side, I didn't think to start it until next year because I thought I was going to be busy with other things. But, again, you make plans and God laughs, right? So I decided to launch my own boutique consulting on the side where I'm specializing in diversity and inclusion consulting and training. I definitely don't want to give people a typical diversity training like that people probably associate like HR with. I work with people to establish, really hit pause and refresh on their brand, their culture, their leadership skills so that they can really lead a diverse and inclusive team. So I'm going to be launching that pretty soon and I'm very excited.
Awesome. Awesome. I love the pivot as well. You're in the co-working space, and obviously with everything that's happened, you've diversified and you're working on a different angle and a different opportunity along with your co-working space. So super cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Anyone else? We'll go one more celebration of wins. Anyone else want to jump in? All right. Well, great shares, people. Just I can feel the energy. I can feel the good vibes. I can feel everyone that's really, making, their strides in their businesses and their personal growth and evolution. So that's what this is about, is to celebrate those and to cultivate more of those experiences. So now let's get to our main event for the day, as you'd call it. The main speaker, Guy Lelouch. He's been so kind enough to join us. Barry made the introduction between Julian, myself, and I with Guy, and it's just awesome to have him here. Guy is a serial entrepreneur. He is the CEO and co-founder of Citizen, which is a company that works with college students on financial aid, and he's also has a business called Journey, which helps people with nutrition and giving them the vital resources to be healthy, live healthy lives, mentally, emotionally, physically. And what I really noticed too about one of his captions in his LinkedIn is part of his contributions of what he makes in his business is going towards helping underprivileged children and people of need that need these vitamins and nutrients. So he'll get into his story, but we're really grateful to have Guy. And Guy, take it away here. The floor is yours for the next 10 to 15 minutes, bud.
All right. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate. First of all, thank you all for showing up. I think it's amazing. Miami is gathering like that. It's beautiful to see. I left Miami, unfortunately, about 3 weeks ago. I moved to Puerto Rico, but I still love the community there and the city. That city gave me everything. And it has so much potential. So it's so good to see you all here. Okay, so I know I only have 10 minutes, but my goal is to add as much value into your life in 10 minutes. So I'm going to be very transparent with you guys into my story. And I'm assuming it's a safe space, but I know it's a very spiritual community as well. So I'm going to talk about, the business challenges, but also the spiritual challenges as a founder and the transformations you go through when you build a company from scratch. Okay, so a little bit about my backstory. So I am actually from France. So I'm sure you guys can tell with my accent. I moved into the US. I was 23 years old, which was 10 years ago. And I was not a very good student. I got kicked out of college 3 times. But one thing I knew is I've always wanted to move into the US to build a tech company. That was my dream, right? And what I did when I was 23 is I packed a bag and I tried to find a job in the US, but it was 2008. So the financial crisis, was very pronounced. It was really hard to find a job, but I found a job as a coder. As a coder, I was not a coder in the first place, but I said, you know what, everybody's looking for coders. Let's learn to code and let's find a job in the US so I can get a visa and arrive in the US. So after, a year of research, I finally find that job as a coder. I'm paid, $1,000 a month. And I still have that dream in my head. I'm going to go in the US and build a tech company. So I code for 2 years for a French company. And after 2 years, it was time for me to move on to something else. So I decide to quit my job. And what's interesting is when you're an immigrant and then you quit your job, basically your visa gets in jeopardy. So I kind of became, legal in the country. And then I had to find my way to, becoming legal again while building my company. But at the same time, I didn't have, I was not able to pay the bills because I didn't have a salary anymore. So I remember some days I was like always on the fence. Okay, should I go back home? But if I go back home, it's a failure. Or should I stay here and keep struggling and keep fighting to make this company happen? So, here I am living with my ex in her, tiny apartment, tiny studio. And I decided to finally start building my company. And as a tech guy, so I learned to code, in that French company. And then I started to look for, small products I could build that would just enable me to pay the bills. That's it. I just wanted to make, $2,000, $3,000 a month, just so I could pay the bills. So as I was trying to create my company, I don't know if you guys know, when you need a company, you need an EIN number, which is a number given by the IRS. And this number enables you to, pay your taxes and hire employees. And so I try to create a company, and then I see some companies that are charging for EIN numbers. And I'm like, okay, that's interesting. So I pay for it, and I realize, okay, you know what? Maybe I can just build something like that just for me to be able to pay the bills, where, I would, get, some sales during the week, and then I would process the EIN numbers on Monday because the IRS website is closed on Saturday and Sunday. So I decided to build a quick website where you could get your EIN number on Saturday and Sunday. So I was charging a very small fee, but people, for convenience, they were willing to pay it. And over time, I started getting some sales, and I was making, $200, $300 a day. I could finally breathe. I was able to, pay rent and be able to survive, right? So it was an amazing feeling. So I'm like, okay, now I have a business, a small business that pays the bills. Okay, now it's time to build the big idea, like the $100 million idea. And I think one of the first mistakes I did, and I'm going to tell you all the mistakes I did along the way, is I get kind of caught up in the tech entrepreneurship hype. Okay, so you see a lot of medias out there that talk about, $100 million exit, the next app, the next platforms. And what happens is I see a lot of entrepreneurs, they try to build the $100 million idea right away. And what happens is over time, you get caught up in the tech hype, and you try to raise money, and then you try to enter an incubator like Y Combinator. And at the end, it's not really working out because you focus so much on the big idea that you do not focus on, let me try to resolve first a small problem. Okay, so I lost a year of my time trying to find that big idea that was supposed to be a build company. And for me to be able to do an IPO, I applied to Y Combinator a few times. I got rejected each time. And after a year of trying to build this company, this big company, I was like, but hold on a second. I have this small business that brings me $100, a day, and people are paying me for it. So let me try to dive deeper into this small thing I built, the EIN number thing that's paying the bills right now. Let me try to go deeper into it and find if maybe there is something, bigger around it, right? And then after a couple of months, I started really diving deeper, into the business. And that was my first mistake. I lost 1 year getting caught into the tech and entrepreneurship hype. Okay, well, at the end, I had, something that was bringing me money. I could have spent my focus on it, and I would have grown a lot faster. Okay. So, after, a year, I really started putting my focus on that, EIN number business, which is very simple business. And I realized that people, they have a hard time, reaching the IRS when they need help. Okay. So I start setting up a call center where people can call us if they have questions about their EIN number or building a company. And over time, I'm able to charge a little bit more on this product. And as I charge a little bit more, I'm able to invest a little bit more in advertising. And then I arrived at one point where I was putting $1 in in AdWords, which is, Google search, like you type get EIN number and we show up on search, they click and then they pay. So I was able to put $1 into AdWords, and at the end of the day, I was getting $2 at the end of the day. So when you have a machine like that, it's and you're young, and you come from kind of a poor family, and you never had that much money in the past, and you've been struggling a lot, and then you have that machine in front of you. It's very tempting to say, hey, you know what? Why do I don't put $100 and then I'm going to get $200 at the end of the day, right? And then the next day, oh, it's working. Let me put $200 and I'm going to get $400 at the end of the day, and then 400, and then 800, and then 1600, and then all of a sudden I went from a few $100s a day to $500,000 a year. And then what happens is, as an entrepreneur, sometimes people always tell you have to grow. But one of the biggest mistakes I did is I grew too fast. So in my second year, I went from $500,000 to $6 million in sales. And the problem is, as an entrepreneur, as you enter into different stages of the company, you have new problems that you are not aware of in the first place, okay? So the second year was very interesting. I started, hiring a few employees to handle the call center. And then I had this machine where I was putting, $1,000, and then the next day I was getting 2,000. And, I get caught up, I put more money into it, and the company becomes more profitable. But the problem is, I did not see it, but the call center could not handle all the phone calls we're having, okay? So then we started having unhappy customers. And then, but the problem is you get caught up, like you're like, okay, now I have all those employees and I have all those sales, but if I reduce the sales, I cannot pay the employees anymore. And then you kind of get caught up in the growth. And then over time, you realize that, well, I'm not providing that good of a service because I kind of get caught up in my growth, right? So I get excited about the number of the growth, but at the end, the service took a hit. And, that's where I took, one of my biggest lessons is growing too fast is as dangerous as like not growing, okay? So if your company is growing, always make sure you know why, what are the repercussions, okay? And in which way it's increasing the risk of the company, okay? And funny enough, as I was growing, very fast into that second year, there was a government shutdown. So I don't know if you guys remember in 2013, like raise your hand if you remember the government shutdown in 2013. And basically because my business was based on helping people finding that EIN number form, where I could not process the sales I was getting. Okay, so I started getting a lot of sales, but I could not process them. So once again, more people calling, I could not handle the phone calls, more people not really happy because I could not provide the service. So here I have to give a bunch of refunds out of nowhere. But the problem is because we get so many phone calls that the merchant account decided to shut us down because first we grew too fast. And on top of it, we were not doing a best job with customer service because I kind of had no idea that, I had so many calls going on because I was young, I was 24. And I was so obsessed with the growth because I kept reading everywhere that it's all about the growth rate. And then what happened is we lost our merchant account. So after losing that merchant account for like 2 months, we could not get any sales whatsoever. And on top of it, I had, some employees I had to pay. So that's why I almost lost, my business like the second time. And on top of it, the government was shut down, so we could not provide the service. So I had to, and because the merchant account was shut down, I could not provide refunds with the software. So I had to write manual checks for a month and a half with my co-founder every single day. I had to write 30, 40 manual checks every day so I could give the refunds to the customer because I could not provide the service because the government was shut down. And at the same time, we lost our merchant account, so I could not do them with, the software. So very interesting moment. I learned a lot that you really have to focus on all the metrics of your business and not just, the sales and the growth rate and, the money coming in. Like this is just one aspect. But if you want a really sustainable long-term company who's going to last for years, you have to make sure you focus on all the metrics, including the one that involve the risk aspect of the company. So let's go into mistake number 3. So after a couple of months, we get our merchant account back, so we're able to, generate revenue again. The government shutdown stops, so now we're able to reprocess sales again. And then I decided to, as I resolved that pain point of the EIN number, I decided to say, hey, you know what? Maybe there's another government form that I can make better versus what the government is doing outside, the EIN number product I had. And then I decided to build a product around social security card. So I don't know if you know, but back in the day, if you wanted a social security card, you had to go into the social security office. And I'm sure you guys know how painful it is. You stay in line for 2 hours. It's crowded. It's full of people. You have to park. And then I created a product where you get a package at your house, and then you just enter your documents. A FedEx agent comes to your house, pick up the package, and then you get your social security card replaced in 14 days. And this product did very, very well right away. And that's what brought our company to, the next stage, which is, over 10 million plus, in revenue. And here I did another mistake that almost cost me my business again. And by the way, I did a bunch of mistakes like that, and I'm going to share them with all of you, so you guys can make sure you do not do them. So I only had, one service provider that was handling, our package system that the customers were receiving to get their social security card replaced. And this service provider got out of business. And I think that's one very important thing is in business and in your companies, never depend on only one service provider or one third party to make your business run, because you never know if something can happen to that person and then you cannot run your business anymore. So I call it the rule of 2. Okay, so whatever you have in your company, always make sure you guys have 2 of it. Okay, so 2 merchant accounts. Okay, 2 service providers that help you, package social security cards, right? Make sure you have 2 people that handle the most important aspect of the company, right? Make sure you have 2 analytics system to measure your metrics with your business, because if one goes down, you have the other one. Make sure you have 2 call centers. Now I have a call center in the Philippines and then a call center in Dominican Republic, because if there's a hurricane in the Philippines, then Dominican Republic can take over, et cetera, et cetera. So that was a big learning as well. I call it the rule of 2. So never depend on one thing for anything for your company, otherwise you increase the risk. Okay. So let's move forward a couple of years, and then now the company starts growing. I start having 60 employees, and I'm a little bit over my head. I'm still young. I'm 26, and my companies are older than me, and I think I know what I'm doing, but at the same time, I make a lot of mistakes in management, because nobody teach you how to be a CEO, right? Nobody teach you that. Like, you may be a coder, like you built a product, was successful, but now you have to deal with people, and it's a completely different job as when you start your company and then you code and build a product. So I start hiring people, and that was another mistake I did, which is I put the wrong energy into my company. So when I was younger, I was very driven by money and trying to become rich, whatever. And this energy you put in your company is going to attract the same type of people. And I always compare a company to a plant. A company, it's an entity, right? And then it grows, and then it morphs, and then it transforms into something else, right? And then sometimes it dies, and then it grows again, right? And the plant always try to go reach for the sun to grow in the best conditions, right? And if there is something going against it, then it goes around it and finds the sun, right? Well, a company, it's kind of the same. If you don't put the right conditions into it and the right energy, well, it's going to, bite at you with the same energy you put in. And so I was very, finance driven back then. And the people I was hiring indirectly were people that were money driven as well, like I was, because this is the energy I was putting in the company. This is the energy I was putting in the culture. And then what happened is a year later, 3 of my best people, they quit the same day at the same time. And they were the 3 pillars of the company. I'm talking executive positions. And they came to me, they quit at the same time, and they started competing with me. And for me, it was a moment where I knew I really had to reconsider the energy I was putting in my business. And it's something I want you to always take in consideration. Like, what do you want out of your company? Like, do you want to impact the world? Do you want to help people? Do you want to be happy while running your company? And the energy you're going to put in is always going to come back at you one way or another. And now today, the way I run my company, it's a completely different way as back then. And the team I have is amazing. They all share, they're all happy. It's a completely different vibe. But you know, it's something to take in consideration. Always be careful of the energy you put in your business. Okay. Now, another mistake I did is, you know, we move forward a couple more years. The company is doing great, and I start working about 12 to 14 hours a day, and I start neglecting everything around me, my relationships, my health. I start neglecting, you know, my family. I wasn't calling them as much, right? Because I was so obsessed with making this company successful that I completely neglected what actually was pretty important, you know, for me to be successful as a human, right? And funny enough, after, you know, being like that for so long, you start morphing with your business. So spiritually, it's very interesting because you run your company, and if the business is doing good, you feel amazing. But if the business is doing bad, you feel miserable. And the problem with that is a business in itself, a company, it's kind of unstable, right? You have up and down, and then sometimes like you have an amazing day and the next day something happens. So what it does is it makes that your mood, because I was very associated, my identity was very associated with my business. Well, my mood was very up and down as well, right? And that's what created that kind of like depression where, you know, even if my company was doing well, deep inside I was not really happy. And on top of it, I was neglecting my relationship, you know, my friends, my health, what I was eating. And then after a year, you know, a burnout happens. And the burnout is like your brain telling you, okay, what you're doing right now is destroying you. So now let's go in survival mode. Like, I'm going to stop everything and you're not going to be able to operate anymore. And this happened about 2.5 years ago. And I go into my business partner's office and then I tell her, Katie, I'm out. I can't do it anymore. I'm not sure what happened that day in the business, but I remember that I just could not run this company. I was just burned out. I had enough. I knew I wasn't happy. My health was a disaster. I didn't have that many friends because I was so focused on it. I knew it was time for a change. And so I told my business partner, hey, you know what? I'm out. I'm going to leave. I don't know when I'm going to come back, but I'm sorry, I have to go. And she was very nice. She completely understood. She made me understand that I could always run the company remote. And that day I went to a One Heart journey. So for all of those who know Brandon and Barry, they have a community called One Heart. And then we all go into you know, a country, and then we all do ayahuasca together. And that was my first, you know, ayahuasca ceremony. And I was in a very bad place back then. And that's where I met Julian, by the way. Julian was there. And I remember after that first ayahuasca ceremony, I decided that, you know, the move I did of stepping down of my company was the best move for me to be happy. And I finally found my identity again. And I realized that I was not that much about the money at the end. You know, I was not that much about becoming like, you know, like successful and the CEO with all those employees. I really wanted to just be, you know, happy. And I realized I was mainly trying to impress people versus impress myself. And that's the best way to, you know, run a company in a way that you do not do it for what's best for you and your team, but more for like, you know, to impress people around you, which is the wrong approach. And after that ayahuasca journey, I packed a bag and then I did a work tour for a year. So I did 16 countries while running my company. And what's funny is this experience taught me that I didn't have to work 12 hours a day. You know, I just had to put the right trust in my team so they would do the work. and be happy doing the work. And me, I just had to make the, high level thinking and the high level decisions. And then I think the lesson here is, if you have a company that's doing good and then you start neglecting other aspects of your life, it's going to, at the end, impact your company. So for the sake of the business, you better work 1 hour less and spend that 1 hour with your boyfriend or girlfriend, or spend that 1 hour working out, or spend that 1 hour meditating or journaling, because at the end, on the long term, that's what's going to make the business successful. Because if you take care of yourself in a way that you are happy and you're successful in all the other aspects of your life, and your spirit is in a good place, well, your business is going to thrive. Your team is going to thrive, because the fact you're happy, you're not going to manage people the same way. The fact you're happy, you're not going to make decisions the same way. The fact you're happy, you're going to want to share happiness to your customers, to your team. And that was the big learning with, that 1 year travel I did. And make sure that if the company you're working on becomes successful, please do not neglect yourself. Do not neglect your happiness, because trust me, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. And at the end, you're gonna lose it all.
Guy, it's like, I think so many entrepreneurs have that same challenge and that same struggle, right? Of burnout and overworking themselves to the point where, they can't even run the business anymore. And it's so true. Just taking like 1 less hour and devoting that to yourself. It's almost like, I've heard this saying before. It's, work harder on yourself than you do on your job, but indirectly, you're going to actually do better at your job, whether you own the company or not, whether you're an employee or employer, you're actually going to do better at your job. Right. It's crazy. We're running a little low on time here, so I want to open it up to
sorry
some.
about that.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
No, your journey is incredible,
I hope
man.
it helped. The value.
Thank you for sharing, guys. It was amazing, by the way. I learned.
Thank you for listening. I appreciate it.
Yeah, very insightful. Thank you.
Bye.
I want to open it up for some Q&A, though. I want people to ask you some direct questions about your story. Maybe that can lead to you kind of closing up everything on your story and kind of where you're at today. But does anyone have any questions for Guy on what he shared from his journey kind of with success and handling success to the challenges and the mistakes that he had? Any questions? Or any questions about your own business that you'd like to get Guy's feedback on? He's got, 10 years of experience. Maybe someone's going through something right now that you'd like to share.
I want to ask a question, because this movement, the Wow Women of Abundance, I notice how many women are in scarcity, how many women are not orgasmic. And so the program that I created teaches women how to open their heart, connect to their sexual energy. And so my wish is to just get out there, let more people know. So for visibility, and I was thinking of creating a podcast or just being on podcasts. So if there's any advice, I have a YouTube channel. I just want it to be normal for women to feel abundant. And it's the mission that's driving me, and the results. I got awesome testimonials in 10 days. Women learn how to love themselves more, feel more worthy, be more orgasmic in 10 days. It's amazing. And so I want to get out there more in the world and just be more globally. People know about it. So that's my questions for people that want to serve humanity and get a more global message out. What advice do you have?
So first of all, thank you for the small meditation we did at the beginning. It felt amazing, Michelle. So great question. So the key. So I've actually been working on putting content out there as well myself, and it's so putting content out there and putting a message out there. You have to always use that law of focus. Okay, so you have so many channels where you can share your message, right? So you can go on Instagram, right? You can go on podcast, you can go on YouTube. And if you start to do it all, there is a high chance that you're going to burn out at the end, because those type of platforms, they do not give you instant gratification right away. Like, you're gonna put a piece of content out there, you may have 1, 2, 4, 5 views, right? And then over time, it's very, it's difficult. So I always say people, and you can check my Instagram as well for an example, but always focus on one platform at a time. Okay.
Wow.
So I know it's tempting to do it all, but the best way is to start with one platform, and then you go on udemy.com. You know udemy.com? It's a website to learn basically any skills. They have a bunch of classes on, YouTube, Instagram, podcast. And then those classes teach you how to use the algorithm the right way so that your message you're putting on the platform gets spread as much as possible. So you want to learn how the algorithm works, okay, in a way that when you're going to put your message out there in that one platform you pick, well, it gets as many eyeballs as possible, okay? And once you have that kind of, eyeballs going on, then you can start putting more content out there. But if I were you, I would really start with one platform at a time. Otherwise, it's too hard. I've done it. Yeah.
Great advice. Really great advice. So anyone have any other questions for Guy? Maybe it's about your business. What are you working on right now that you just need a little bit of feedback on from Guy or from anyone in the group that's been experiencing something?
Yeah, I have a question. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, I'll go quick. What's up, buddy? My question is, so the business I started 3 years ago was very like, I want to make money focused starting out. And with art, I'm shifting the main focus away from money. And I'm curious for you, like, what's the number one, like, fundamental shift that you're bringing to your new business right now?
The main shift is now business. It's not about the money, it's about the people. Who you're going to work with is going to define if you have a good time in your company or not. And if you all have a good time, the chances of success are just so much higher that the money will come anyway. Does it make sense?
Yeah, love that.
Find the right partner, find the people you're going to have fun doing this company, right? And also find a project that inspires you versus the project that is the more profitable, right? I was not passionate about government forms. It became successful, but it wasn't a passion. And the problem is, once you start making money after that, and at the end, it's not about the money anymore because now you have it. Well, now you're not inspired by the business anymore. And then that's where you burn out. And then you're with the wrong people, and then, shit hit the fan, right? So focus on the people and make sure that the project you're in inspires you as a human, right? Of what you want to put out there in the world. And that's how money will come at the end. That's the best way to attract it. Those two parameters.
I love that. I love that.
Love that.
Go ahead, Alex.
Yeah. So real quick, I know that you mentioned failure, and I know that we're as entrepreneurs, we all deal with failure at some point in time in our careers. When we get out and start the journey of starting a business and entering in the space, we are doing so with this Pollyannish confidence of us being able to solve any problem, overcome any challenge, and all that good stuff. And so when you hit a wall or you hit a challenge, you immediately feel that you can solve it, and then you dig yourself your own hole in trying to get out of it. Outside of doing medicine training, how do you feel? What would you say to most of us that some of the ways that you were able to get out of or unbind yourself from that that the need or the feeling to solve your problem and just say, you know what, I'm out, and move on to the next one?
Okay, so great question. So what you're saying is, when do you know it's time to move on versus keep solving the problems until you break through, correct? So that's a good question. So in my experience, at each time I had a big problem and I almost went out of business because of it, at each time I put the work to solve it, then a new version of the company came after that. It's kind of like the company upgraded, right? So you have a big problem and you solve it, and then the company move on to the next stage, right? So if you have problem and you want to solve them, it's part of the growth process of the business. And each problem you're going to solve, you have to see it as like an upgrade into your company and as a positive thing that's gonna show that you become a better entrepreneur and your company is growing. And then once you solve that problem, you can be sure it's not gonna come back. So your company is gonna have less and less problems over time. So follow the problems. If you have problems, good, it means you're gonna grow. Like go solve them and go push your company to the next level because of those problems. Now, if at one point you start losing motivation and then you don't want to solve the problem anymore, then maybe it's not the right company for you. And so many people, they say, never give up, never give up, never give up. And I think it's a false statement in a way, because some of my best ideas came up after I gave up. And sometimes when you see like the universe telling you that it's not for you, or like you cannot make it, and then you keep like breaking the walls and then it's not working out, by doing a small shift and moving on to something else, you may find your best idea yet, or your best company yet. So it's kind of a dance. Like you resolve the problems, but if you feel it's not like going through for some reason, and you try something else, and then you solve more problems this way. It's a constant dance, but you have to let yourself flow with the business, and then over time you're just gonna grow.
Thank you, Guy. Appreciate it.
Sure.
Awesome. Guys, any other questions for Guy? This is really good stuff. I mean, just the knowledge and wisdom here from experience is just so valuable. Any other questions pertaining to your business that you can ask Guy for feedback on?
Quick question.
Yeah, I have one. Oh, well, actually, Matinicus, you mind if I go?
Please do.
Matinicus, actually, go ahead. By the way, I just want to announce to everybody, I don't know if Julian's still there. Matinicus is a new hire for our company at Pathwaves. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and say what I was going to say. This is kind of a comment, Guy. I mean, I really appreciate your feedback, especially with Alex and all that. I actually went through that transition from being financially based before I started this company. I started this company when I was already in my 40s. And so I started this company for the sole reason of helping people. I started this company for the sole reason of celebrating life and thriving, and having nothing to do with the money. And so now I've sunk about 500,000 into this company, and I'm at the end of my rope financially. And so I've had to shift from spreading the love and joy to monetizing. And I'm having this huge struggle with that. So I don't know if you have a comment about that. I'm already doing webinars. I'm doing everything. Yeah. And I wanted to introduce Matinicus to the group. He is our new hire, and his whole job is sales. What we have done is basically created a digital journey with psychological services and coaching services, which provides the same kind of outcomes you got from the ayahuasca.
Okay, that's good.
And it actually takes it. I also have been creating the after ayahuasca experience for reintegration and for thriving with your vibe, as well as wherever you can find your vibe in the world. And so, I mean, ethereally, spiritually, mentally, and physically, I've accidentally created something that doesn't exist anywhere else in the world. It's fucking incredible. And I mean, if I were to stop now, I would know that I've done an amazing thing. And I was lucky to be part of it. The universe really brought me to here. And so I keep, like you said, that giving up, I'm like, all right, I've had enough. I got to stop sinking money into this. This is fucking ridiculous. And then the universe comes around and says, no, you have no choice. You have to keep going.
That's funny.
And it's like the universe keeps making it hard. Not easy, just hard, Yeah. So anyway, I'm just kind of throwing that out there, and then I'll turn it over to you, and then the Matinicus.
Yeah, I can comment on that. So I think going the full money path is dangerous, but also going the full impact path without the money is risky as well. So ideally, you need to shift the mindset you have around the money. So instead of money making me happy or money is going to enable me to pay that lifestyle, well, guess what? Now money is a tool. Money is a tool that's going to help me spread my impact faster. Money is a tool that's going to help me impact people's life faster, right? But it's like, if you go completely the other side, where you go full impact and I don't want to be involved with the money, right, like whatsoever, you may run into the, oh, well, I can't grow this thing because it's not, you know, it's not monetizable. So you just have to, you know, find a balance between, okay, it's not financially driven, it's about impact, but if you want impact, you're gonna need money. The biggest nonprofits, I mean, they raise millions and millions to increase their impacts, right? So you have to see your business the same way. Find a way to monetize while having the impact so you can scale the impact. Because at the end, what you want with your company is to impact as many people as possible, right? And to do that, you're gonna need some ads to spread the message. You're gonna need to, you know, probably make partnerships. So you're gonna need a financial incentive in some way. So make sure you keep it, but just the mindset you put around the money, it's not what drives you to make the business happen. It's just the tool that's gonna help you make the impact happen. So do not completely like, oh, let's money, I'm not interested, because I made a mistake too. I went full spiritual. I tried to build another company. And at the end, I said, no, it's not about money. It's not about the money. I couldn't grow it. And I was just losing money on it, right? Because I was putting my own money. So it's about finding balance and changing your mindset around money. Yeah.
I love that. And I would even say too, when you're selling something, because I was in sales for, 12 years before getting into my own mastermind and coaching business, knowing that when you're selling something that you truly are doing someone a favor when they buy it, like that mentality of like, even if it's like a $10,000 product, you are doing them a favor by them getting involved in it, because you know that there's $1 million in value of a $10,000 investment. You know what I mean? It's like you are truly helping people with pathways, right? You are helping people, and you're getting an exchange of value for helping people, right? So it's that mentality of not feeling guilt or unalignment when you're selling something. So having that mindset as well as a salesperson is going to make you a better, more authentic salesperson for your new hire as well. So just that mentality as a salesperson really rings true, and it'll come across as authentic and transparent over the phone too when you're selling something you truly believe in.
Yeah. And if I can comment on that, by the way, most people's transformation, because I have a coaching program too on the side because I want to help people. Most people's transformation start with them investing their money. And there was a study that was made on Tony Robbins events, and all the guest people that were invited for free had a lot less success with their program versus people that were actually paying. So asking for money for coaching you're going to give is the first step for someone to transform. If they are not willing to put their money into the program, the chances for them to be successful and transform and elevate themselves, it's going to be a lot lower. So take that in consideration as well. It's not bad to ask money, and sometimes it's necessary for people to transform and go to the next level in terms of impact, right?
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Great question. Great question. And guys, we're a few minutes over here, but I think there's just such good energy and flow here, and no one has jumped off. We'll keep this conversation going for just a couple minutes longer. We'll do another question or two for Guy, and then I want to finish with give and gets. All right. So this is your opportunity to share what you can give to the community and what you'd like to receive or what you need from the community as well. So we'll do that in the next, 2, 3, 4 minutes, and then we'll wrap up the official call here. So, G. Cole employee, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Go ahead, buddy.
My name is Matenicus. I do love working with pathways, and like you were saying, Joe, having a product that really does change lives makes it all the easier to sell. But I had a question for Guy. How did your family come to accept that journey and that process? How did you communicate that transformation as it was going on to your loved ones, especially as you were traveling to run your business from abroad?
That's a good question. So I'm very lucky to have a family who always supported me. No matter, even if I was doing the wrong things, they were like supporting me, like, hey, listen, try it. And if things go wrong, we're here to back you up. So I'm very lucky to have this type of family around me. Now the people around you, because being an entrepreneur is kind of rare, it's very hard to find people that understand what you go through. And that's why those communities like Miami Made are so important, because when you build your company, what you go through cannot be understood by anybody. You know, only another entrepreneur can understand it. And I struggled through that as well when I was going through tough times. It was very hard for me to find people that understood me and I could really relate to. So, you know, always try to surround yourself with the people that have the same type of entrepreneurship mindset, so that whatever decisions you make on your life because of your company or because you want to, you know, take a step back or step out, most of the people would understand you. Like if you tell me, hey, you know what, I had to step down, I had enough, it was too crazy, I'd be like, dude, I get it, man. I went through that. No worries. Like take your year off, come back, and you're gonna be even better. You know, because most of the entrepreneurs go through that. So always surround yourself with people that can understand any you know, weird behaviors that can come out of running a business.
Yeah.
Does it make sense? Yeah.
Awesome. All right, guys. Guy, you were awesome. You brought so much value, man. Like I can just tell the people were so engaged, and you know, that was just awesome. Guy, put down in the chat box where however you'd like people to contact you or reach out to you or learn more about your websites or your LinkedIn account. Just
I'm
do
gonna
the
put
chat.
my Instagram.
Yeah, please do. Put your Instagram. Michelle, you as well. Please put
Michelle,
where we can
you can
find
check
you.
the way I do content if you want, and I can help you. Just send me a DM and then I'll teach you how I did it.
You're on mute, Michelle. Oh. Michelle, you're on mute. There you go.
All right. I just want to, if you could just put michellealva.com.
You got it.
All my information and my YouTube channel. If anybody knows anyone that can help me, I have 16,000 subscribers and I just don't know what to do with it. So if anybody out there can help me with that, I appreciate that. That's my get. Oh, sorry. I don't even think we're doing that yet.
No, this is good. We're gonna get right into it. So yeah, let's get into our give and gets right now. Michelle is asking anyone.
My give is I'm an insight timer. If anybody has a lot of chronic tension, pain, I created the ALVA method, and people say it's like an ayahuasca journey, or if people want to learn how to whole body orgasm and release tension, years of pain in one session, you know, it's just really your openness. Just reach out to me because I'd love to talk with you all more about that, the work that I'm doing with Tantra and NLP. And I work with Jeff too, and I want to just say that Pathwaves is awesome. I did like 24 sessions with him, and I really feel that helped me so much to be the person I am right now. So thank you, Jeff.
Awesome.
Thank you, Michelle. I've been Michelle has helped me a ton too. So she's a great help in many ways.
Awesome. Anyone else? Well, give and get, something that you'd like to give to the community, something that you'd like to get from the community. Aisha, go ahead.
Hello, Aisha here. I'm developing right now training program. Name is Get Anything Done with my partner, Jason December.
Hey guys.
So we would like to give our stuff.
Yeah, so we're doing a free hour training. I'm publishing my book. I used to write for Grant Cardone, and we're doing this hour training every week and also giving away some free content. So really want to do that with a service of love and giving, and then just sharing it around. That's what we're requesting, that you share this training around. It's about tripling your productivity, getting anything done, and have a really good way to do that. So just share it around and let people know that this training is going on every week. We appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Awesome. And by the way, guys, I have Julian and I put together a spreadsheet of give and gets and all of our contact information, so we can have each other's contact, email, phone number, your company website, and then what your give is, what your get is. That way we have it in one central location. We also have a Slack for Miami Made and for Thrive Together Tuesdays with different channels. And we have a give and get channel as well where you can talk to people through Slack. In the follow-up email, I'm going to do a show notes email, and I'll have the links to the spreadsheet as well as the Slack page. So I'll get that to everyone as well by tomorrow afternoon. But thank you, Aisha.
You're welcome.
Okay, go ahead, Jeff.
All right, so our Pathways Give is I'm offering free mind massages to all the Miami members. Plus, we'll sit with you and review your brainwaves and tell you what we see, and hopefully talk to you about what's holding you back from hitting that next level. And my get would be to register and watch my webinar tomorrow, and follow us on Facebook and Instagram. And I actually just put all that in the chat. Oh, I didn't put where we are. But, you can just go to, and also go to pathwayslife.com and sign up for our video series. And maybe share, anything you see your way from Pathways on Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn.
Awesome. Make sure you put that in the chat, Jeff, and also use that spreadsheet that I'm going to share with everybody. I'll get that out. I'll get that out today. I'll get that email out to everyone today. I'll do the show notes email to everyone today, so that way we can have access to those links in the Slack. But yeah, that'd be great, Jeff.
I think I'm already on the spreadsheet. Can you check that for me?
I will. Yeah.
Because I think the give and get that I'm offering now, I offered last month.
Okay, great.
Does it stay on there, or do I have to?
Yeah. No, it stays. You're good actually if it's on there. So, but
All right, great.
Yep. Awesome stuff, Jeff. Anyone else give and gets here? Anything that they like to share? Well, guys, let's call this a wrap here. This was an amazing group and amazing questions. Guy, you really brought the energy, you brought the value, you brought the wisdom. So I want to thank you again for spending the extra time with us and being so detailed. I'm going to stay on here for the next 5 to 10 minutes. If you guys just want to chit chat and network a little bit, more than welcome to stay on. Otherwise, you'll stay posted for next month, the first Tuesday of every month. And the plan is once we get past this coronavirus thing, we'll go back to the live events as well at Ironside. So I'll keep you posted on that. And let's rock and roll. Thank you so much, guys. This was an amazing morning. Guy, thank you again. Michelle Alva, amazing ceremony. Thank you so much, dear. It was amazing to have a sound and flute meditation with you. It was great.
Thank you, Joy.
Thank you, everyone. Have a
Thank you,
beautiful day.
everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Guys,
My pleasure. Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Take care.
Awesome, Lita.
Take care.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Ow!
Guy, thank you so much. Alisa, looking forward to seeing your art.
Oh, yeah, thank you. I wasn't able to hit the whatever. I couldn't get in when you were talking about the give and get. So I just posted some links there, and that's where
Good.
you can see some of the online meditations.
Yeah.
And if you just look me up on Facebook I put some links in the channels. You can see lots of my stuff. I've got a bunch of content that you can
Great.
see and enjoy. So yeah, thank you for your interest.
Yeah, awesome. Congratulations on winning those contests. You definitely have talent. So excited to learn more about what you're doing.
Thank you. Well, you'll see the winning video on the YouTube channel as well. So yeah, have fun, enjoy. Please contact me if you have any questions, and I'm happy to share more because it's a little bit of a confusing type of modality and topic of art because it's so new. So
Yeah.
I'm happy
interested.
to help educate and consult. So
Very, very cool. Well, thank you so
Thank you.
much. And
Thank you.
Thank you, Monique, for joining. Thank you for the nice words. We appreciate you being on here, Monique. All right, Monique, I'm not sure if you can hear me, but thank you so much, and have a great afternoon.
Okay.
I got you now.
Thank you. Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye, Monique. Thank you. Hello? Hello? Oh?